Okay, everyone, I'm so sorry. YouTube crashed and it wouldn't let me resume my stream. So sorry. I'm gonna wait till a couple of you guys are back here. Again, I'm so sorry, guys. It'll be a miracle if we get this stream to that many likes. First, let's go, W. I need to wait for the other guy too. I gotta wait for him. Then we'll get started finishing the video. Back. All right. Here we go, everyone. We are going to continue video. Remember, if you get bored at any point of the video, make sure to let me know, and I will try to spice it up. Blake, are you watching? Yeah? Good. You better be watching. All right, here we go, guys. Viewer description is advised. Let me know if you can hear it, by the way. If you guys can't hear it, I'll turn it up. Let me know.
Hey guys, my name is Sam and welcome to Prep Medic. This week's video, we're going to be talking
Let's go.
treating massive hemorrhage in the civilian environment.
Sorry, I had to restart it.
As always, guys, a couple disclaimers before we start the video. Number one, I'm about to bring kind of a gross-looking Stop the Bleed trainer up onto the table. So if that's not for you, maybe click off this video. Number two, I'm just some guy on the internet. Make sure you're fact-checking everything I say. Always follow local policies, procedures, law, and training when you're doing care on another human being. That being said, since the Stop the Bleed campaign has become much more widespread, bleeding control is widely covered under Good Samaritan laws. Just make sure you know those laws in your region. All right, so moving on to the topic of this video. Right here, I've got a nice little Stop the Bleed trainer. This was supplied to me by Human Medical, so I really appreciate them. Send this over because it makes the demonstration a little bit easier. I really wanted to do this video because in some of my older videos with wound packing, tourniquet application, my Stop the Bleed video, they're either really academic and really focused, or they miss a couple points that people have been asking about in the comments. And
let me know if you guys can hear it.
Replies and corrections to people as they come along. This video will address a lot of those misunderstandings. Forward. So I hope this is a little bit more complex,
it's made to look
isn't going too far
like what the situation is going to be. It's just teaching you. If you aren't a big guy at blood, I'd suggest
which means
maybe
that there
not
are
watching.
Thousands of people worldwide that die from massive bleeding where they didn't have to. If somebody had been trained around them, they could have saved a life. Which is why I am so passionate about this topic and have multiple videos covering this. If you do want some in-depth videos, I will leave links below to some of the individual things we're talking about today. Number two, this is not a tactical skill.
4 likes, let's go, thank you guys.
That's only valid in a war zone. Yes, bullet wounds and knife wounds can all cause arterial hemorrhage that need to be treated, but so can chainsaws, plate glass windows, car accidents, motorcycle accidents, bear attack, shark attack.
Totally.
I don't know, think of a situation. You can bleed from a variety of different injury sources, not just violence. When we are talking massive hemorrhage, we are not talking...
You have 14 people live?
We are talking
massive
arterial hemorrhage. This is bleeding that is spurting to the beat of their heart. This is bleeding that is pooling under them, soaking through multiple layers of clothing.
Let me know if you guys can hear it, okay?
Needs to be addressed really quickly or the patient might die. For reference, you have about 3 to 4 minutes before you bleed out of your femoral artery or your carotid arteries. So time is of the essence. We have to address it quickly. On the flip side of that, we have venous bleeding, which it can look really gruesome. You can have massive injuries, but not have any arteries affected. Moving forward, we're going to assume all the bleeding on this mannequin is massive arterial hemorrhage. We're not going to be discussing minor wound care in this video. So let's go.
We're going to pause it while we wait for the cuckoo clock to finish. And while we do that, we will look at the comments. Okay, everyone, here we go. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
On to treatment. We've got a couple different devices and products that can help us with this, but not all of these are necessary for massive bleeding control if we're not carrying them.
I told you guys about these.
I carry a lot of this stuff, but also I understand that that's not what everybody's going to be able to do. And that's
I love
totally
reading
okay. There's
comments.
some workarounds,
So do I. It's so
I
fun.
can teach you guys today. So first and foremost, if it's a massive extremity bleed, so anything below the shoulder, ideally we would like to put
This is what I told you guys about
in place. This is just a device that goes around the arm, you tighten it down, and then it has a windlass that gives a 20-to-1 mechanical advantage, shuts off that artery, and will stop all blood flow distal, so farther down the arm or the leg.
After this stream, can you play
this
Donut?
Right here is a cat tourniquet. This is what
Kai, I'm so
a
sorry,
lot
but
of
I am done
sources
playing
are
on my
using.
computer for the
So
day.
notice
My
that
brother is now on
it's
my
right
computer
over
because
here.
we
And
share
for
one.
civilian use, I think that's where it's at because it's really easily identifiable. Now, contrary to common
EMS orange.
misconception or what we used to think
I showed
about
you guys.
tourniquets is that just because you've applied this to somebody does not mean they're automatically losing that extremity. As long as they're at definitive care, so a hospital with vascular surgery within about 4 hours, they're going to keep that limb. And there have been documented cases of limbs being saved far after that 4-hour timeline. So just know that this is not an immediate limb decision. You're not going to just get their arm cut off just because you applied one of these by mistake or it wasn't that big a deal. So to apply these, we want to apply these 3 to 4 inches above the injury site.
I got that right.
If we can't immediately identify the site of bleeding, we can just go high and tight. So as high up on the arm as we can, tighten it down, turn the windlass, and get the bleeding to stop. So we're going to say it's bleeding from here. This is the top of the leg. This is the bottom of the leg. I'm going to take that tourniquet, put it on, and it's a little bit hard to do on this table because this mannequin is very sticky and doesn't like to go around with the tourniquet very well. We have the tourniquet. We're going to pull this as tight as we can. So this first tightening is really important that we just tighten that as much as possible. The second step with this is we're going to take it and we're going to turn the windlass until bleeding stops. That's usually going to be 1 to 2 times, and it is painful. Coach your patient. Tell them, hey, this is going to hurt, but we're going to get through it. Talk to them. Make sure you're explaining what's going on as you do it. So we're going to tighten that until bleeding stops. Bleeding's completely stopped from this. I'm going to take the tail of this tourniquet here. We're going to tuck it through this strip
My
here.
keyboard making me crash out is because it's not typing right.
Oh,
that's so lame.
Hold the windlass tight, and I know this isn't going to get pulled out. Take the time strip and pull it across just like that. You can write the time of application because that is important to the receiving facility. That being said, if you don't have a pen or a Sharpie or anything to write down on it, that's no problem. It'll be okay. The patient will be okay. They'll be able to estimate
right blood on the forehead.
Is applied. So that's really all there is to this tourniquet. Now, a couple misconceptions. We never want to take this off. Once we've applied a tourniquet, we're not going to loosen it every 15 minutes. That's old news. We're also not going to second guess ourselves and pull it off. This might feel like an extreme measure, but honestly, I would much rather you do this in somebody that might not need it and is borderline than not do this on somebody that absolutely needs it. So that's the basics of the cat tourniquet application. There's a lot of different brands out there. This is probably just the most common. Try to make sure that their Committee for Tactical Combat Casualty Care recommended. Those are tourniquets that have been extensively tested by the military and other units and are known to be really high quality products. So you're saying now, well, Sam, hey, I don't have access to a commercial grade tourniquet. Can I make one? And the answer to that is relatively complicated. First and foremost, I would not recommend doing a makeshift tourniquet if you're not really trained up on it. Mainly because there's been studies that have shown that makeshift tourniquets are over 85% ineffective. That's a huge failure rate for tourniquets. That's why the Stop the Bleed campaign recommends packing wounds regardless of location if you don't have access to a commercial grade tourniquet. Now, if you were to make a tourniquet yourself, you're not going to use shoelaces.
Blake, pay attention, please,
You're not going to use anything really small. You want at least an inch diameter, preferably an inch and a half. So a shirt widened out will work okay. You can tie a knot over it, and then you can stick something in it and make the windlass and then tie it again. But honestly,
what's that on the TV?
Time where that wound probably could have been controlled much more effectively with wound packing. So that's a good segue
what
into
numbers?
The next part of this, and that's wound packing. So when
I don't see any numbers.
Injury that is either in a junctional site, that's the base of the neck, that's the armpit or the groin.
If you're talking about this, that's
just
just a chat.
Commercial tourniquet, and that wound is anywhere on the extremity or in one of these junctional sites, we can pack it. Now, we can use a number of different things. The gold standard is going to be some kind of hemostatic agent such as quick.
Yep.
Now this is a gauze that basically is permeated with a material that helps promote clotting. So this is the gold standard. These are also really expensive though. So I think this packet right now is going for, I want to say like $55 to $60 for one of these. It's got like a 5-year shelf life, so they last.
It might be something that he already put up there. Oh!
Something everybody's going to have access to. The next step down.
If you're talking about the thing that's in the kind of top left corner, it's his tactical vest and it says paramedic on it.
It's a very similar gauze material.
It's in the background.
And what I'll tell you is that between these two, keep on picking this up, putting it down, these have no difference in survivability as far as has been demonstrated in the laboratory. So when they've done studies on packing with normal gauze and packing with hemostatic agents, while this stops the bleeding slightly faster, this isn't going to leave your patients any worse off in the long run. So honestly, I pack these in all my kits. I also pack this, but I have no qualms about using just regular NAR packing gauze. And for reference, this costs about, I don't know, $2 or so. I'll leave links down below to these products if you want to look at anything, pick anything up. I'm just trying to give you the
kind of bored. All right.
So the third thing you can use, and what most of us probably...
Guys, we are about to be halfway through the video. But I will entertain your peaks of entertainment that are needed first. All right, Blake, you know what's coming. He TP'd away. That's it, Blake. Oh no! Guys, he's not awake. We need to perform CPR. Blake's not awake. Oh, guys, he woke up. He woke up. Oh, he's dead again. Oh no. CPR. Oh, he's awake again. Okay. I think he's dead. Oh no! He's asleep. Wake up. Wake up. Ah. Blake has fat. Right? He's awake. He's awake. Okay. Be alive. Oh no! Oh no! He's dead. Okay, everyone. No! Blake! He's alive. It's okay, Blake. You're alive now, okay? This is why we watch these videos, guys, because now we saved Blake. It's okay, Blake. It's okay. I know. There. He's going to sleep. He's alive. He's alive. He is alive. Now, we do have to finish this video, guys, because it's education. You know, we have to have education. I'm sorry if it's boring. We gotta learn, though. I'm trying to make it entertaining for you guys. I mean, I'm bored as heck. I've watched this 5 times. I'm just trying to go through the pain, you know? All right, here we go.
Have on us, unless you're, you know, a nudist colony in Italy or something like that, is a t-shirt. So a t-shirt is a pretty tight-knit fabric, and you can stuff that into the wound pretty easily. It's going to be almost as effective as one of these. So we all have something we could do in these situations. But for demonstration purposes, because nobody wants to see this dad bod, I'm going to go and pack with this as we're talking about it. So the concept of wound packing basically is that with a wound, especially like this, if I just took pressure and I put it on top of there, there's still a huge wound cavity in there, and it can continue to bleed and bleed and bleed internally. We're just making it look pretty by putting pressure on the outside. What we really need to do is we need to get pressure down into the wound right against the bleeding artery, and that's going to give us the best chance of
Yep, I told you guys about this, remember?
That bleed. So this is a good lesson for checking your gear and being familiar with what you have. I'd recommend buying 2 of everything so you can practice with 1. This gauze here is in a second package. Now, it's pretty easy to open. We can just take that red tab right there and start pulling it out. It's pretty nice. But if you weren't aware of this opening mechanism and you're under stress, it might cause you some issues. So we have a massively bleeding wound, and we'll use this guy here as my demo point. I'll turn this around so you guys can
I
see
screamed,
it on
"Fuck," when you said I
what we
watched
need
this
to do
5 times.
first is I
I'm
want
not
this
even lying, though. I've
major,
probably watched it more than that,
coagulating blood
actually.
in there, out of there. I don't want to bust
Sweep
any
away
clots over the
pooled
wound,
blood.
but if I have like just a pool of blood, I'm going to do a quick sweep
Just
to
do a
try to
quick
get
sweep.
that out of there because I don't want to completely saturate this gauze the second I put it in there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I like taking the end of this and making just a little ball, like kind of a compressed ball.
Yep.
And I want to try to find exactly where the artery is.
I forgot to mention the
My
ball
goal
part.
isn't just to pack indiscriminately into this wound. My goal is to get this right up against that artery to provide that pressure. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to find that artery. I'm going to put this right up against there, and then I'm going to exchange fingers. So I'm not just going to let go. I'm going to take this, I'm going to go one after the other and exchange as we go. This guy's going to unreel. Sometimes if it's a roll, you can just throw it over your shoulder, tuck it down your shirt. Either one will work. And we're going to maintain that pinpoint pressure. Now, I can't stress this enough. The point of this is not diffuse pressure. This is not going to stop the bleeding. We need to have very direct pressure on that artery, and we're going to pack this
Gotta hurt,
as
huh?
much as possible to get as much surface area of gauze in there. And we're just going to hold that. Now, if this was quick clot gauze, if we started to see this bleeding through, I would take this whole thing, I'd pull it out, I'd take the other end of the quick clot gauze, put it back in. And the theory behind that is that you're getting more of the hemostatic agent closer to that artery. You're kind of replacing it. With this gauze, the teaching is just pile more and more gauze on top of it. That being said, there does come a point where you might have to replace this gauze. Just know that the formal education is that you keep on packing gauze on top of it. So I've got that wound packed. Now what? Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to hold this as long as possible. I don't want to wrap it. I don't want to release this. I don't want to give this to somebody else. I want to maintain manual pressure because manual pressure is going to be the most effective thing for this patient. If we're in an environment that's maybe not permissive, we have to move. Maybe it is an active shooter situation or we're in traffic. We can take a compression wrap and wrap it around the wound. Just know that's not going to hold the pinpoint pressure you have, and you should be holding this for at least 5 minutes, if not longer. Honestly, if this was me and this was, say, a motorcyclist that crashed on the side of the road and I'm packing a puncture wound, I'm going to hold this until I physically hand off this pressure to the EMT or paramedic that's responding to it. So that is packing this wound just like this. Now let's talk about it on some other types of wounds. So the most different type of wound on this guy is this bullet hole. Now, a lot of questions have come up on, hey, what if it's a through and through? And I'm just packing it, it's coming out the other end, and we just end up like flossing the patient's wound. That's not super realistic because oftentimes wound channels will take weird paths throughout the body. Number two, the goal is not just packing down into this hole indiscriminately. The goal is to pack this against the artery. So if you have a through and through and you're like seeing daylight on the other side, all you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to find the artery and pack it up against the artery instead of just packing it through the wound. So this one's actually a pretty small wound, but if you can't feel it, but if you put your finger in there, you can feel it's a pretty large wound channel, which can happen with bullets. So I take this down,
got a
do
message.
the same thing. I find
The hell I'm watching?
and then
I'm teaching you guys how to pack
with
and treat
I want
wounds.
to keep that pressure as tight as possible. And this one's not going to take quite as much gauze just because it's a
This
much
is for
smaller
firefighting and EMS
That's okay.
training.
If you filled it up and you can maintain the pressure just like this, that's great. There's no problem with that whatsoever. The next thing somebody's going to say, it comes up on all these videos. Some well-meaning person likes to give advice and say, oh, look at that. That's the same shape as a tampon. Now, for regular watchers of this channel, you know, a couple weeks ago, I did a myths and facts video, and we talked about tampons. And there were a surprising number of angry people in the comments telling me, I saw tampons work. Now, I hate to break it to you, but nobody has ever seen a tampon single-handedly stop an arterial hemorrhage. They don't work like that. This is not a device.
Why would you put your finger in the patient? You have to feel for the artery so you can treat them. I know it's not. I know it's bad, but it has to be happening.
For my patients, we use rhino rockets if we have to put something up in their nose. Otherwise, we just pinch the nose and we're good to go there. Now, people that say they've seen this work have not seen this performed on an arterial hemorrhage. They've seen this performed on a gruesome looking venous hemorrhage, and they come out here and they claim that it saved somebody's life. I guarantee you it didn't. So with this tampon, okay, great, we inserted that into the wound. Now, I had probably, I don't know, about this much fabric in that wound, and this tourniquet, one, it doesn't actually provide pressure to it, it just absorbs blood, and the point of this is not absorption. Number two, the amount of fabric in here is minuscule compared to, I said that weird, minuscule, compared to the amount of surface area that this gauze has. So let's see if I can unwrap this really quick. This is how much cotton is in a tampon. That's expanded. I put about this much gauze in there. That is a massive amount more gauze in there than the tampon is. So this square footage or square inches is the name of the game. We need to be packing with gauze or a t-shirt,
definitely
not with tampons. There's really no reason to use tampons for massive bleeding, all right? Okay, there are two other things I want to address in today's video. Number one is bleeding from sites that are not your extremities or junctional sites. So it stands to reason that if somebody's shooting or you're in an accident, there is a chance that you're bleeding from the abdomen, from the chest, or from the head. And I hate to break it to you, but a lot of those places are not amenable to tourniquet application or wound packing.
Chest seal time.
In the OR, you do see people wound packing the abdomen. You need a massive amount of gauze to do that.
I'm supposed to watch this every Friday, by the way. I watch this like almost every Friday.
Not recommended.
I haven't in a while, but I'm supposed to.
Anything. Some people say placing a chest seal on there. At least that's going to take some of the infection out, but ultimately they need an operating room, and none of your interventions are going to really help that person all that much. And you're saying, well, Sam, what about bleeding and what we can do?
We got a message.
We're talking about preventable causes of death.
He's saying words he knows by heart, and I don't know how to pronounce them. Yeah, that definitely happens often. I can't even pronounce some of them.
We can't pack gauze into the chest cavity, unfortunately. So the best thing we can do is apply chest seal if it is in their thoracic cage, but ultimately, once again, they need a surgeon and they need blood products if they're bleeding profusely from those sites. On the head, one thing you'll note on the head is that it's very, very vascular. So somebody will get a relatively small cut and it will look like they just got axe murdered by, who knows who. Basically, in those situations, what's great about that, if it's not penetrating through the skull and it's just a superficial wound, you can take direct pressure, put it on that, and it's going to do wonders for that patient. It's going to stop the bleeding a lot because you have a very good backdrop in the skull to hold that pressure tight. I did have one situation when I was in EMT early on in my career where somebody got smashed in the face by a bottle.
Oh.
And they had an artery in their nose that was spurting blood. It was a small artery, and it was just, every time their heart beat, they spurt a little bit more blood. And I had every piece of gauze known to man over this person's face. Really what happened was I rolled into the ER, the trauma doc came over and he put one finger on the artery and it stopped bleeding right away when all of my gauze didn't do anything. So that's a great lesson in pinpoint pressure. Just be aware that in the head, it is very vascular and you can usually control the bleeding with means. It should be common sense, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Don't pack into an open head wound. If you see brain or you think it's going past the skull, maybe don't put gauze into there. The last thing I want to address in this video is proper personal protective equipment. So in a professional setting, we are always putting on
I'm gonna be a nerd when I go back to school because I've been watching him have a big brain. Yeah, you're gonna have a big brain, bro. Yeah, show off to all your friends your new skills.
They're afraid to act because they're afraid of blood.
6 likes, thank you guys.
Great news on that front is that your skin, if it is intact without open cuts or sores, is a great barrier against bloodborne diseases. So you are pretty safe going in and treating a patient with bare hands. This wound is already going to get infected. They're already going to get antibiotics before they go into the OR suite. So that is not your primary concern. And even if it was, the gloves we wear on the ambulance or the helicopter or any professional responder, they're not sterile gloves. So they're not really preventing infection either. So don't be afraid to act. If you do have open cuts on your hands, that's a little bit of a different story and there is a risk to that. However, the chance of transmission is still relatively low. So while I'd always recommend you having gloves, if you see somebody with a massive hemorrhage and you're comfortable with it, I would recommend just going in, controlling bleeding with your hands. I'll be honest with you, I get blood on my hands and my arms all the time at work. and we wash it off. We're careful with it, but it doesn't even count as an exposure that's reportable. So that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you have anything to add or any questions, leave
Me trying not to sleep. I know, right? It's so hard. Okay, everyone. You guys did it. You survived 1 out of the 10 videos we're watching today. I'm kidding. Do you guys want to watch one more video? Or do you want to watch something more interesting like how to prep a medic bag or how to put an IV in or whatever the 3 ways to build your... No. Oh, you guys want to watch more or you want to be done? Let me see if I can find... Do you guys want to watch this? We can watch whatever you guys want. Prep a medic bag? Alright. Let's find one. I think we'll save this for when you guys are a little bit older. You don't need to see that right now. I have to find it. I think it was up here. 3 ways to build your IFAC. Do you guys want to watch the how to build it, or do you guys want to watch the loadout? This one's longer, this one's shorter. Oh, let's watch this. This one's shorter than all of them. We'll watch this one. Are you guys ready? It's up to you guys if you want to watch this one or not. But I think it's a really good one to watch. Blake's still watching. All right. Here we go, guys. Hope this will probably be the last one, if not one more. I want to make the last... I think we'll do one more. Guys, that's Preda, not Feta, just so you know. They have to pay me money. They have to pay me money if they want to be in my video. Sorry. That's Freda, not Feta, okay? Sorry about the flashbang. And the gear bang. I'm not wasting stuff. Most of the supplies is often in video and it will be used for training.
I don't even know what I'm going to call this video. I need to figure out something that's going to kind of condense down what I'm trying to do here. Because this isn't going to make sense to a lot of people unless you have been in a situation where you have opened a...
Hold on, I'm going to get my fluff stuffy.
You've been under a ton of stress, and then all of a sudden...
Get back.
What seems like simple...
We're going to pause it. Yo! I know I'm a kid. This guy is a grown adult who is an army medic and an EMT. I am a 13-year-old teaching you guys how to be a medic for the future so you can save lives if you case and come across somebody who's going to die. So, yeah, I'm actually doing you a favor. What? Don't you say bruh to me. You're probably a kid, too. I'm just trying to teach you, bruh. Oh, cool face. Sorry. You're 15? W. I'm 13, almost 15, you know. You're only 2 years older than me. Yeah, I didn't see your whole message. Sorry, there's a button. There's a giant tripod blocking everything. Blocking things. Sorry, Ela. I think I'm saying that right. Oh. Bro, why aren't you calling me out for being a kid? I'm just saying. But, oh well, that doesn't matter. Also... Just so you know, this is a kind of, I wouldn't say it's really the best thing to watch at your age. You can watch it, but just ask your parents first because there's going to be some blood demonstrations that, you know, there's just some gore in here. I just want to make sure you're not going to sue me or anything, so ask your parents before you watch this. All right, everyone, here we go. Continue the video.
Comes a Rubik's Cube, and you open the first layer, and hey, there's a second layer there that you have to open. It can become very, very challenging. Beyond that, these things all unfold in a different way and have just slightly different uses. So while everything I have in front of you is some form of gauze or bandage or occlusive dressing, these are all very different in their use depending on the company you go with. So in this week's video, I'm going to open every single thing you see on this table to give you an idea of how it works, how it comes out of the packaging, where are the tear spots, and is there something particularly confusing about the product that we're using. I think this is important because while I would always recommend somebody buy 2 of everything before they put it in their first aid kit, this stuff's expensive. When we're talking quick clot,
yep, that's the same guy. Thank you guys so much for 7 likes.
That Celux gauze around the same price there. You have
this guy's probably the best guy I would recommend for watching
you have
this.
things like the battle wrap, which I think is like
even more than me.
$20, and so on and so forth. It gets very expensive, and especially for products that a lot of people are never going to use in their life, it's hard to justify having that extra cost just in the name of practice. So that's why I think this video is important. I've got a ton of different brands in front of you, so hopefully this applies to you. I'll try to leave like a category of these things being open so that you know which time slot to go to. So let's start with
my username has Robux. W, bro. I don't really play Roblox anymore though.
The event of a massive arterial bleed. Now, these are a little bit different. Over here, we have hemostatic gauze, and then this gauze over here is non-treated. Survivability between these two is pretty similar. This is gold standard, but this is good enough. There's just a huge price difference. This is going to be $50. These are going to be in the 1s to 10s of dollars. So let's start with kind of the most commonly known product here, and that's going to be Quick Clot Combat Gauze. Now, this is the XL version. I don't even know if they make that anymore. But this is kind of your gold standard. Now, the packaging here, we've got a couple different serrations to help you open it. You got 2 on the sides, and then you have 4 on the bottom, and you can open this with any of them. So you just tear it, it's going to come out relatively easily. So pops out of the bottom here, and it is all Z-folded. So I can just keep on pulling this. It's not spinning in my hand.
I sent my friends to join the stream. W, man, thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure that they're allowed to watch this first, though.
Pretty easy to find the end of it, but if you can't find the end and you just grab this with your hand,
I'm singing, forgetting I'm watching this. That's so true. I do that all the time.
In the middle, and
I'm gonna go to bed. It's 11:40 at night for me. I'll be back soon. See you later, man. Have a good day. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you learned something. Thank you guys so much for 8 likes.
That surgeon's going to see this gauze, and they can make sure that they get everything out of that wound so the patient doesn't get more massively infected than they already are and develop an abscess and all kinds of nastiness. This gauze is pretty clean. It is impregnated with the hemostatic agent, but it's not really like gonna make things messy. It gets your hands maybe a little bit of a residue, but that's just about it. Very safe. You don't have to worry about it too much. All right. Next up, we're going to look at the Celux Rapid Ribbon. Now, I did some commercials for these guys. There's a lot of different Celux products. But
guys, you're ready to use my Roblox username?
Relatively the same.
I'm not sure what you mean.
2 pull tabs, and they're denoted with the black. There, it's just a different color. Just tear at the top. Now, these packages aren't going to tear super easily anywhere else, so you kind of have to go with what they've supplied you. Unlike the Quick Clot, this is very messy. Now, this is the small version. I wouldn't use this if I were you. I'd use the bigger version they have, but it's the same thing. So here we have this, and it like almost has like a cornmeal on it, and this gauze, when it's packed into the wound, actually will form kind of a gelatinous clot in there. It will form like this gelatinous.
Sorry, guys.
There are some studies out there that say that this is going to work a little bit better than your Quick Clot in people that are on blood thinners. So this is going to work a little bit better for that. Once again, though, you can get the thicker gauze there, and that's going to do well. And you can see it's made a complete mess on my desk already. So there is that. Now, coming up next, we have the H&H compression dressing. We've got the NAR responder compressed gauze, NAR S-rolled gauze, and then an H&H tack gauze here. I want to start with this one because this really is the gauze that was the inspiration for this video because it can be very confusing. There's another version of this that comes in a green packaging. Don't be confused, they're pretty much the same thing. So with North American Rescue, anything that's red is going to open or move in some way. So here, I can take this guy, I can peel it up, and I can remove the gauze, but wait, there's another package inside of it. Now, this is kind of a slick packaging deal. It's there for a reason, but it can be very confusing. I short-circuited on a video a couple years ago when I opened one of these and like didn't realize this was going to be a case.
I'll see you later.
Like
Hope
I
you
just
make
said,
more
if
streams.
it's
Yeah,
red
W,
or
man.
looking
Thank you so much
products,
for
it's
being
going to
here.
open, not
I'll
dissimilar
see you
to
later.
striker cups. So
Have a
here,
good one.
I can take this, I can rake that section back, and now I can pull this gauze out a little bit at a time. And the thought is that then this isn't like falling in the mud and somebody's blood getting saturated before you even pack the wound. You know, it works. And then you can just pull this all the way off. Now, this is a very similar consistency than the other gauze, but I'd say it's a little bit more fibrous. They're even a little bit more messy. So you've got a fair amount of it in there. That comes in that packaging. So don't get confused by secondary packaging. There are a lot of different brands that do that for various different reasons. If you can get away with it, and if you're okay with the potential exposure for your gauze, I personally like opening it from that outer packaging. Just be aware that will completely diminish any sterility that this once had. So just keep that in mind, and obviously you're assuming your own risk by damaging packaging or taking it out of that packaging beforehand. All right, so let's talk about some of this stuff here. We've got NAR compressed gauze, probably the most common thing and probably the cheapest. So 2 red lines, open up just like that, and then we can reach in, get the gauze. Now this one doesn't come with anything, but this thing is a brick as it stands. It doesn't just kind of come apart. So I find this is a little bit harder to get going. You can kind of pull it and get to the end somewhere. This is why I'm doing this video, for reasons just like this. You can kind of pull it off. Notice I never like found the end on my own. And now this is not Z-folded. This is just a wrapped gauze. So this turns around. It makes it a little bit less convenient for packing a wound in my experience. And once again, you have quite a lot of it here, and it is pretty compact, but it comes out nice and soft, easy to pack a wound with. All right, moving on to the 2 H&H products. H&H makes a great product. One of my favorite things is this tack gauze because it's really thin. It fits in a lot of different kits very easily. Sorry, I didn't talk about that one. This one does not have markings on these serrations to open, but still pretty obvious. You open it at the top, and then you can reach in and pull it out. Once again, these things don't open very well from anywhere else. I've definitely gotten stressed on scenes and ended up like cutting these packaging with trauma scissors because my stupid brain can't figure it out. All right, so my understanding with this gauze is you can do it 2 different ways. So you have this tail, and all of them that I open have this tail, and you can take this and you can use this to pack the gauze down into the wound if you want. But there's
how much longer? This one is
right
almost over.
You can pull out and you can pack in this way or use this as just a bandage. So kind of interesting thing kind of comes out like the inside of the toilet roll, and then you just pack that in the wound like you would any other gauze. Obviously it comes out as kind of like a trunk, a tube, but that's...
All right, everyone, this one's a little bit longer. I'll put something more interesting on for you guys because I feel bad, and I know that you don't want to watch this because I have to watch this all the time, and I know it sucks. Yo, guys, I'm going to try and find a good video that you guys might want to watch. Yo, everyone, I'm going to close this so I can look something up for you guys real quick. Bear with me, chat. Bear with me. I'm just trying to make this a little bit more interesting for you. Oh, my knees hurt. Okay. Hopefully you guys learned something from those. Do you guys want to watch a day in the life of a firefighter or EMS? Do you want to or no? It's up to you. Don't just say yes out of guilt. Just say yes or no. Yes? Alright, bet. I'll get it ready. I used to watch these so much when I was younger. I used to think I was so cool. Yeah, there's just some gory things that I don't think I should show on stream that I don't want to put on you guys right now, so I'm just gonna do this real quick. Personally, I think I'll do Spokane. Or Spokane, sorry. Do. Okay, guys, we're gonna watch Day in the Life of Spoke. Never mind, that's 40 minutes long. Why are these all so long? Almost got it, guys. Bro, these are so hard to find a one that's not really long. I just want to find something more interesting for you guys. I don't want to bore you the whole time. Let me find it. I accidentally just cleared it. I'm so sorry about this. Okay. Day in the Life of a Firefighter. Bro, which just did the same thing. Ooh, sure hope I didn't. Okay, everyone, I found a short 13-minute one. 27-minute one. We're probably gonna do this one. Alright, you ready? This will be the last video of the stream, probably. Here we go. Hopefully you guys...
I'm paramedic firefighter Travis Markowski. This is a day in the life of a paramedic firefighter for the San Jose Fire Department. Well, good morning.
Blake is watching, by the way,
On our
guys.
way into work here. I commute in from Marina down by Monterey. It's about an hour 10. I'll work over at truck 13 on the C shift. I'm getting ready to start a 48-hour shift. It's pretty normal for us. We do 48-96, so
Yep.
2 days on and 4 days off. I do love coming to work. I feel like it's a treat every day. I've been in EMS for, this will be my 17th year, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Ooh, Ford F-150.
For
Oh,
12
beautiful.
of those. And worked for the fire department for 5 years. And this is definitely the best outfit, is getting to come to work, put on this uniform, serve the city that I grew up and was raised in. And just coming to see my crew that I get to work with. It's your second family. I spend so much time with them. Like I said, I'm coming in for 2 days. It could be 3 days. And you definitely get tight with the people you work with. So this firehouse, which we're actually coming up on, is my little home away from home.
Isn't it a beautiful truck? That scared me.
Hey Tyler, what's up, dude?
Hey, morning.
How are you? Good man, got you.
Good to see you.
How was it?
Good. Had a good tour. We ended up having a fire the first night, so we used the radial saw in the back, some tools, but everything got put back.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get all my stuff off.
How's EMS gear?
EMS gear is good to go,
Kept that cabinet locked?
pretty much.
Perfect, love it. All right. So our shifts normally start around 8 o'clock. We try to get in before 7:30 so I can relieve the person going off. Tyler was the paramedic on the truck the last 2 days. So I get a quick report from him, we turn over, explaining what they did, if they used any tools, any equipment, anything that needs to get replaced. Once we can do all that, I'll grab my gear and get it loaded up on the truck so I'm ready to go.
I watched so many of these, bro.
So after I get my turnover and I get all my personal gear on the rig, I'm gonna start my checkout. I kind of go front to back. Everyone has a different method. I make sure my SCBA, my face mask, and all my breathing stuff that's kind of the most important thing to me, the life-saving stuff. So I make sure that's good. Then I just start checking out all the gear. This is our medic cabinet. This is kind of my bread and butter here. This is all my gear, so I spend a little bit more time going through this stuff.
W.
It's a box of all our medications, IV start stuff, make sure everything here's good to go. And so I just gotta make sure everything's up to date, we have enough of everything, and everything's staged the way I like to have it set up. So if I gotta use it quick, I know where stuff is. This here's our airway bag. If anyone has
Sorry
any
about this,
breathing
guys. It's not
issues,
interesting yet.
it's got all our gear in here so we can address all that, from medications, oxygen mask, nebulizers, the innovation kit. So if someone's not able to breathe for themselves, I can put a tube down their throat and actually breathe for them. This is our cardiac monitor. Super important piece of gear. You can check all your basic vital signs on there. Just hook you up to the heart monitor, see what your heart's doing. Get a 12-lead EKG. It's also an AED, so if I have to shock the heart, I can do it all from this unit. It's our pediatric bag.
Almost over, guys.
All the stuff for kids, everything's a little bit smaller. The most important thing in this bag, our OB kit. So if we had to do a field delivery of a baby, it's got everything we need in here.
I love how that's in the kit.
This is a trauma bag,
I'm
so
kidding, I don't love that.
any trauma
Bag.
patients, bleeding control, blankets, there's some more airway stuff. If you get like a vehicle accident or something like that, this is the go-to bag. It's not the most glamorous part of the job, but it definitely needs to be done. We have 9 people assigned to the station on each shift, and it's not that big of a house. So we do our daily cleaning assignments. It takes about 20 or 30 minutes, but it goes a long way. If you can imagine 27 people using the same bathrooms over, 4 days.
Crazy.
And then this translates into everything we do. That whole saying of how you do anything is how you do everything. You keep all your gear nice, you take care of your gear, it'll take care of you. We try to be good stewards of city equipment and city property. So trying to keep all this stuff nice just translates into everything. It starts with the toilets, but it goes into everything we do.
Yeah.
We're on our way to go meet up with Engine 37. They got a newly promoted driver. So we're going to go do a training drill. We're going to simulate going to a defensive operation where we put up the aerial ladder. It's got a big nozzle at the end. And they're going to be pumping the water to us tonight. So the engineer has his continuous water supply from the hydrant. He's going to pump these hose lines that's going to go directly into our master stream. So in a second you'll see we start to fill up the water. We'll start putting water out in the master stream of the 50 area.
What am I gonna watch when I'm done with this video? I'm not sure. This might be the last one. Yo, Kai, thank you so much for watching through this. I'm not sure. I might watch nothing or I might go to bed. I think I have to end the stream after this video, actually. My mom said I could only do an hour. I know. But thank you guys. We're gonna just watch this. It's gonna be interesting more. They're gonna start going on calls after this, I think. I think there's one more training clip and then it will go to videos, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the calls. Thank you guys so much.
And talk to your engineer to coordinate, make sure you get the right water in the right spot and enough water go in there.
Oh, here we go.
Right now, we are en route to a vehicle accident with a female complaining of back pain. I'm gonna go ahead and do my paramedic assessment. We document everything here on the iPad with the web-based program. So I'm just getting all the.
Hope you've had a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Scattered Brain. Appreciate you joining. Have you had a good day?
We just got back from a traffic accident, ended up just being a minor fender bender. The driver of one of the vehicles was really just shaken up. Wanted just a quick evaluation. Didn't have any apparent injuries. Refused all transport to the hospital by ambulance. So we're able to transfer the scene over to San Jose PD.
Yeah, I got to play W3 on PS4. W, bro. Hopefully we can talk tomorrow, by the way.
What's bothering you today? Okay. Do you have any pain? Here, okay. I'm gonna touch you here, okay?
Whoa.
Learn more. What language do you speak? Farsi. Okay. Is it okay if we check your blood pressure and vital signs? Okay. And you got the Rick phone? I'll grab it. I want to see if I can get language line. Hi. Can you just introduce yourself to the patient? Can you ask him if he has any pain anywhere? Okay. And I don't think we have any more questions. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
Can you call at 5 tomorrow? I want to play donut. Yeah, I'll call you at 5 tomorrow if I'm on. Hopefully I am. I'll let you know though, and I will play donut with you if you want.
Okay.
Kai, that'll be your favorite thing.
One is a little hypertensive, but all those other battles are fine.
You can play with us too.
Farsi interpreter to get. Okay. Patches? Now we're good. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Good seeing you, brother.
All right, man. You guys be safe.
Take care, sir.
What?
So we just got back from
There's
an EMS
credit
call.
in
The person called 911 for a medical problem. On initial contact, we realized the patient did not speak English.
I'm gonna head to bed. It's 11 for me. W, alright. You head to bed, bruh. Don't stay up too late.
The
See ya.
interpreter were able to provide
Oh, wait, you just said you're going to bed.
by getting all their medical history, medications, and allergies. We're able to treat this patient, and then we transferred care to the ambulance crew.
Grocery shopping.
We live in the station. We do 48-hour shifts. So it's 2 days.
Bye.
9 people.
Have a good day. See you
We come in,
tomorrow.
we shop usually the first day.
Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
We try to cook all of our meals. So if you ever see the fire truck at the grocery store, we're shopping for ourselves. We all pay our own money. We all pay about $20 a day. Split it up. This is where the real magic happens. You get to see who the good chefs are. The vital part of being a firefighter is being a good cook. We're normally pretty healthy in the station, but today we're tight on time, so we're going to treat ourselves to some tater tots. What's in it? We just make our own. Sugar, onion, cornstarch, red, green bell pepper, garlic, corn. Dude, beets, red onion, spring mix, walnuts.
Ooh.
So we are responding to a gas investigation at a middle school. We have a gas detector here. So I get it on, get it calibrated before I show up. And we'll try to pull up a map of the school to get an idea of what we're dealing with. We're just going from outside.
What are the rooms on the opposite side of the building?
We got a little faint smell on the women's by the showers, but nothing on the monitor. That one smelled like natural gas, though. It didn't smell like sewage. But I've been doing all the drains.
All right, we just had a gas investigation. We got called out here to the middle school for the odor of natural gas in the boys' locker room. What we use our floor gas. Here it's a detector that can pick up natural gas. We didn't have any hits of it. We didn't smell anything, so we just referred the call over to PG&E. Made sure it's safe for the kids to re-enter. We'll be clearing out of here shortly. This is probably the most fun time in the firehouse. We prep our meals. We do everything is teamwork, if you can tell. So we all help out, create good, delicious, nutritious meals, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Mealtime, we still sit at the table. We call it family time. We'll sit at the table for probably 2 to 3 hours and just talk about our day, what's going on with the family, have a lot of laughs. We have a probie here today, so he's going to be doing some presentations on some policies.
February 11th, the Academy has requested us to go down to the library.
I love how one side of the table's for the bald people and the other side is for the addict. That's probably not a real thing, but it's funny.
So we're out here doing another drill. We have a probationary firefighter
right.
today on our engine. So we like to get the truck out, get us hands on some tools. Today we're doing a drill called Know Your Reach. We like to put all our ground ladders out. He's gonna practice putting all the ladders up, and he'll be able to see exactly how far each ladder can reach.
Video's almost over.
I'm here at the gym. I'm working out. We're allotted time every day.
Are they gonna film
the exercise.
going to a fire?
At any moment, I
think there might be a shed fire in this video.
This job is very physically demanding, so it's very
Maybe.
important that we stay in shape to prevent
If not,
injury
I will
and
show
give
you
the help
another
to our families.